wanted to mention just briefly, and newer listeners, I'll try to be quick with this because newer listeners aren't going to even probably really much know what I'm talking about here. But those who've been with us for a while might know. A couple of years ago, this gentleman named Tom Gulley used to call into the show occasionally, and I met Tom through Not Even a Show, hosted by the great Chris James, and we are occasionally featured on that program on YouTube, or NEAS for short. And I subscribe to Chris's Patreon too for the bonus content, which is really good. Chris is amazing, and that's how we met Tom Gulley through NEAS. And a couple of years ago now, it was about 2 years ago actually. Tom got upset with me. Because after we'd had a pretty friendly relationship, Jesse PS from Pod Awful, they had a feud going, if you will, and Jesse had called into the show a couple of times, and Tom got angry with me over that, and then I guess that was it as far as our relationship, my relationship with Tom, our friendship. And then and he was very upset with Jesse PS, and I think he kind of blamed some of what happened on me. But last night, so this was a couple of years ago now. So last night, Jenny sent me. I wasn't home. Jenny sent me a message about Tom Gulley for the first time in like 2 years. Was doing a live show on YouTube. So I was like, oh, interesting, because I was never, Tom was mad at me. I was never mad at him. I tune in and he's talking to Jesse PS on his show on YouTube. So I said, oh, okay, well that's cool. And I listened to a lot of it actually. It was I was surprised at how friendly it was, and the two of them seemed to have really good chemistry together on the show. So apparently those wounds have healed, and that's a good thing. So I don't know if Tom is still mad at me. Tom, if you're listening, I hope you're not still mad at me. But I will say this, Tom, if you are listening, I hope you won't judge me again in the future. If Jesse PS happens to join me on the show, I hope you don't get upset with me for having him on my show, because you had him on your show, and in fact, you had him on your show for about 8 hours. Because today, and I didn't even get a chance to tell Jenny this, today I went back and I checked the YouTube. They were on together for 8 hours. That's like Red Bar, Mike David from Red Bar. He does like 8-hour shows. I could never do that. I could never I could do this show for longer than 2 hours. Like if they ever offered me a third hour or whatever, I could easily do that. But I can't imagine and I can't imagine sitting with having a conversation with a person. Like I can't imagine talking to Jesse for 8 hours. And I actually like Jesse. I don't know how Tom feels about him at this point. They were pretty friendly last night, but I couldn't stay up for the whole thing. I was falling asleep, not because it was boring, but I got tired. But so, if you know the history there, it's an interesting little development. And I don't know. I don't know. I hope Tom isn't. I hope Tom isn't still mad at me. Tom was very mad at me at the time, and someone else too. Chris James didn't like it either, me interacting with Jesse. But here's the thing: now Tom and Jesse seem to be on good terms. So I don't think anyone should be judging me about who I associate with. Okay, just putting that out there. But Tom, if you're listening, I hope you and I can, because the thing is, I missed, Tom used to call in occasionally, and I do miss him. I miss the guy. So, the great Tom Gulley from the Tom Gulley Show, but he's got some new job now, some new big job he was referring to vaguely, so he's probably too busy to listen. Anyway. But, and I have a feeling, because tomorrow we have Huey the Gecko on the show, so I have a feeling we might be hearing from Jesse PS tomorrow, or someone from the Pod Awful cult, because the last time Huey the Gecko was on with us, we heard quite a bit from the Pod Awful cult, and it was pretty funny, though. It was entertaining. And Huey the Gecko, by the way, has a wonderful sense of humor, and he was able to roll with it and have fun with it. So I'm really looking forward to that tomorrow. So